Hello guys! Today we're finally looking at the Gibson EB3 bass, and I'm in the middle of a massive thunderstorm. Yay! So, today we are looking at this beautiful beast. Now, some of you may already know that a while ago I said that the SG style body is the kind of body that, or one of the only bodies of basses that I couldn't really get on with. I didn't really like the way they looked. But this has changed everything. The person who is responsible for this is Andy Fraser from Free, because he has an absolutely amazing tone. He's an amazing player, and he kind of changed the way I view these instruments, because before I just saw them as a kind of generic rock bass, which they are definitely not. And this has soon become one of my favourite basses ever, and I'm really happy to finally be showing this to you guys. I apologise in advance for all the thunder noises and the massive rain noise, because we're in the middle of a thunderstorm right now, and when I was filming the playing bits, because I did them in advance to get it over and done with, I managed to catch a massive lightning strike, so I'll slow that down for you, and I apologise because the isolated sound bit is a little bit chopped up because I'm trying not to get electrocuted or ruin any of my gear. But really wanted to demo this. Hopefully I've done a fine job despite the circumstances, but this is a way overdue video. I got this bass quite a while ago second hand, and the people kind of they weren't bass players per se, and so it just didn't really work for them, and I can understand why, but I absolutely love this bass. So as for the specs of this bass, it's the same as the Gibson ones, but cheaper. But still sounds just as good. So you got mahogany body, mahogany neck, the fretboard is actually Palfero, not rosewood, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Hopefully that comes across on camera. Cameras never do these things justice. Beautiful headstock. You've got the same configuration with the pickups, so you've got the pickup selector, so when it's on 1, that's the back pickup, 2 is both of them, 3 is this massive beast here. So you've got the NYT mini humbucker here, which is one of my favourite sounding pickups I think I've ever heard. It's absolutely amazing, and it's a funk machine. It just makes me want to play Andy Fraser and Sly and the Family Stone and all of that a lot. That they don't necessarily use these basses, all of the funk players, but it works so well, and it's just got that kind of vibe to it, and it's such a positive feeling bass. Then in the front you've got the Mudbucker, which is kind of mental, but I love it. It's a really, really warm, kind of slightly muddy sound, hence the name. This is actually what Cliff Burton modded one of his basses to have, so when you hear that sound, it's one of these. You've got the controls, so you've got volume for the front pickup, and tone for the front pickup, volume for the back pickup, and tone for the back pickup. So, fairly straightforward. How it feels to play is, it feels really nice, especially when you sat down. When you stood up, it is very neck divey, which is a bit of a pet peeve of mine, although for the sound of it, it's kind of worth it, and I just love playing this bass anyway. But that is kind of one of my main qualms about it, is that it is very neck divey. If I let go of that, I'm so sure it will hit the floor. But yeah, other than that, it feels absolutely amazing to play. The neck profile is apparently a D shape, but to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of D-shaped necks, and I don't feel a problem with this. It's not a very obvious D-shaped neck. It's really comfy. It's actually quite thin. It's not a really bulky neck when you're playing it. Fret-wise, nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's a little bit buzzy in places, but to me it goes with the character of the bass. You'll kind of hear that in the isolated sounds. Again, I apologise for the mega hail noises that are now going on. But yeah, I absolutely love this bass. One of the main things that amazed me about it is how clear it is, and also how lovely the harmonics are. Like, even acoustically, if I try and get this to pick it up. Really gorgeous, and I actually did a cover of Jaco Pastorius's Portrait of Tracy on this bass because it has the perfect sound, and it almost in places, if you have it on the bridge pickup with the tone all the way on, has a kind of a fretless sound to it, and just the harmonics and the clarity of the bass is just so clear. Weight wise, it's not really that heavy, it doesn't bother me. Probably the heaviest thing is the neck, but it's not too much of an issue once you get used to it, and it is one of those basses that you can kind of anchor your hand on it and it does stop it. But it's a lovely sounding bass. I should mention as well, it is a set neck. Hopefully you can see that. So if you're a bit of a stickler for kind of accuracy, it is a set neck bass. Pick guard, it does have one, but I took it off because of Andy Fraser. So it did come with it, and normally they would, but you can take them off if you're either not the biggest fan of them or you like Andy Fraser. Did I mention that I really like Andy Fraser? But yeah, I'll do some isolated sounds of the bass and then kind of go into an actual jam, show what this bass has waiting to come out of it, because I always think every instrument has a song waiting to kind of come out, and they all have different feelings to me. Like the Schecter, for example, is a really confident feeling bass. The Ibanez is a very friendly feeling bass, the Sound Gear, and it's like an old friend of mine. I've had that for absolutely years. This one is a very, very happy feeling bass, and it's just so positive feeling. But maybe that sounds all woo-woo, but I don't mean it in that way. It feels great to play, and every time I pick it up, I just love it. It's actually become one of my favourite basses that I own, despite me saying that I actually wasn't the biggest fan of them quite a while ago. And I understand my reasoning, but now this one has actually changed my mind. So if you are also not a huge fan of them, definitely try one of these. So this is the Epiphone EB3, and see if it changes your mind, because I would be very, very curious. So yeah, I'll go to some isolated sounds now. Again, apologies, they're a bit chopped up because of the lightning, but hopefully you enjoy. Then we'll go into an actual jam. So see you in a second. So hopefully you see what I mean about the kind of funkiness of this bass. But there were so many tonal options with it as well. I tried to show them all. So you had obviously tone on and tone off for both pickups, and then when both pickups were on, I had tone off for one pickup and then off for the other one, and vice versa. But it's a really great sounding bass. I will post a link as well if you're interested in hearing Portrait Tracy on this bass, just to really hear what this bass can do and what it has waiting to come out of it. I'll post a link to that. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and hopefully this has changed your mind if you are not a fan of them like I wasn't but now am. Yeah, I'm so grateful to own this bass, and I've really fallen in love with it, and I can't wait to actually play it live at some point. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I'll do a kind of proper end jam now. If you would like to support the channel further, please consider becoming a patron at Patreon. Also, a note on that, if there's anything you would like to see on my Patreon, please do drop me a comment or a message and let me know, because I'm more than happy to oblige, obviously within reason. But yeah, if there is anything, then just drop me a message. I also will put a link to my original music on Bandcamp if you're interested in that. Again, it just helps to support me and support the channel and help me bring more content to all of you, and hopefully better content, because it helps to kind of upgrade gear and just the overall kind of quality of the videos. It just helps a lot. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoy the end gem, and I will see you soon. Bye.